Good evening. I'm Leland. On the program tonight, why President Biden's trip overseas couldn't come at a better time and why it couldn't come at a worse time as well. He left today for Asia to reassure our allies America will confront China and protect them. In a minute, new details on how Chinese intelligence operates with impunity on American soil. Plus, monkeypox comes to America. It kills 1 in every 10 infected. New evidence shows just how little, though, we all trust the CDC and the FDA when we need them the most. But first, on point tonight, for all of the issues we face right now, skyrocketing inflation, obviously gas prices are the most notable and obvious sign among them. Baby formula and other food shortages as well. The crisis at the border certainly continues and will likely get worse next week. The problem isn't the problem. It's that all of these problems don't have easy or quick solutions. Let's start with rising gas prices that stayed today near record highs and will likely go higher, so much higher that one gas station chain in Washington state reprogrammed their pumps for the possibility of $10 a gallon. One of the pictures of the pumps shows the zero added before the current $5 a gallon, so they can change that to a 1. Now, we don't yet have gas lines of the 1970s. But stations are reporting shortages, and Democrats in the House narrowly passed a bill that Republicans warn will cause real supply problems. Republicans will tell you that the answers to the gas problems are easy. They are not. But at this point, it's no longer really about reality. It's about political talking points. It's about perception. And Mr. Biden must be perceived to do something. Here is his press secretary yesterday.
The president understands what the American people is going through, and that's why we're doing everything that we can. We've made multiple announcements in the past several months of what we're doing, whether it's the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, whether it's the Ethanol 15, to make sure that the American people are not feeling Putin's price hike.
Look no farther than your local gas station for proof that both of those fall into the category of just do something, anything, even if it's not going to make a lick of difference. The baby food shortage is even worse for Mr. Biden. It's quite literally not the president's fault, but even Democrats on Capitol Hill publicly blamed his administration. Remember, the FDA commissioner is appointed by and works for and reports to the president.
How many more illnesses and deaths were caused due to the FDA's slow response, and why was there no reaction? It makes me question which side the FDA is on. Are they on the side of Abbott and industry, or on the side of the American consumer? In this case, babies and their moms and dads. But your problems are structural. You have serious structural leadership issues.
Remember, that is a Democratic Congresswoman. Now for the solutions. You might have heard the president invoke the Defense Production Act, which does two things, neither of which get us any closer to solving the problem. We're going to get to the details of that in a second with a former senior official at the FDA. But just for a second, listen as a Democrat questions the president's appointee.
So I can tell my constituents that within a matter of days, they'll be able to find formula on the shelves?
It will gradually get better.
That's Washington code for no. It's going to take a while, even in spite of the president's best effort. Sure, in hindsight, the FDA could have handled things differently, perhaps better when it comes to the baby formula crisis, but every crisis appears easily preventable in the rearview mirror. To be fair, the president's stuck with bad options when it comes to his trip overseas. He pretty much has to go. Months of planning went into this trip. Our allies are counting on it. If he stays home to deal with gas prices and baby formula, but shelves remain predictably bare and prices high, well, he looks weak and stupid. All it does is highlight the problems that the president can't solve. President Xi of China, for example, knows this. Nothing would make the Chinese happier than a weak American president staying home to deal with domestic problems. And it's not like he could send Vice President Harris in his place. Her overseas excursions have caused the administration a lot more headaches and problems than they solve. So off he goes, leaving behind a long list of domestic issues he promised to fix, but have few solutions. That's On Point tonight. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.